Hey guys, welcome back to some more reviews, and today getting to the sequel to Cabin Fever. Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever. Came out in 2009, gets a 4.3 on IMDb. I can't argue with that. I'm not a fan of the sequel. Now, I do understand that people enjoy this film kind of plain disc, but I do understand that people enjoy this film, and if you enjoy this film, that's fine. I can watch it. I honestly, the movie, in my opinion, I don't like it. I think it sucks, but I can honestly say it does have some good practical effects to it. I will say that. Is the film total crap? No. I like the idea of taking place in a high school. I like the idea of taking place in prom. The gore effects are great. It's definitely a gross out film. And those are the things I can say about it. Has good gore effects, some good ideas to it, but I really didn't care for the direction by Ty West, which he's done the House of the Devil, he's done Innkeepers. So yeah, I didn't care for the direction by Ty West. I didn't care for these characters. None of these characters were likable. None of the acting was good. Like the character who played John, was it Noah Sagan, who's known for Dead Girl, Brick, and Looper. And I've seen him in a few films here and there. I'm not really sure this was his first big film, but I've seen him in a few movies here and there. Even him in this movie, the way that the acting pretty much sucks. He doesn't do a good job acting. He's always screaming like a girl and freaking out. Which I get it. It's like in a situation, wouldn't you scream like a girl? But the thing is, like, Ryder Strong didn't scream like that. Ryder Strong at least tried to get out of there. He didn't panic and freak out like this guy does. This guy freaking panics and freaks out and screams like a freaking girl. And he's not a good lead. I mean, he doesn't do much. He just pretty much screams, gets scared. And, I mean, he does a little bit of, I guess, not really fighting. I mean, it's about a skin disease. But still, I mean, it doesn't really do much as the lead character. And even Cassie, played by Alexi Wasser, who's, hang on, IMDb kind of froze up here, okay. She's known for Return to Cinder, Choose, and Factory Girl. Even her acting, I didn't think that it was good. None of these characters had good acting. Not John, not Cassie, not Alex, not Mark. Well, Mark is pretty much the freaking jerk of the film. But the four characters, Alex, Cassie, and the three characters, Alex, Cassie, and John, they're pretty much lead characters. I didn't really care for them. They weren't a good cast. Alex, played by Rusty Kelly, his acting pretty much sucks. He's known for Dear Pillow and The Garage. Freaking, his acting in this movie freaking sucks. He's pretty much a jerk character. I guess he's friends with the lead character, but he treats him like a freaking piece of crap. So I guess it's his friend, lead character's friend, but he treats the lead character like freaking garbage. So not really likable character, and he's also one of the dumbest characters in the freaking movie. And I'll get to why. He's one of the freaking dumbest characters in the freaking movie. Cassie, she's not likable because freaking you find out that she's dating this jerk named Mark who knows freaking karate and stuff like that, and he's a freaking jerk. And like I said, Mark Center played a good jerk in this movie. I mean, you really didn't like this character. But she still freaking is dating him, even though Mark and John, they have like feuds and conflicts, stuff like that. Yet she still dates him, and yet, I don't know, I just didn't care for her acting. She really didn't do much. Same with the John character. She pretty much didn't do much. And like I said, John didn't do much either. So these characters really don't do anything besides scream and run around. Which I get, people are like, well, duh, man, it's a horror movie. But watch Hatchet. And Hatchet, they tried to fight back. Watch Halloween, the original Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. Laurie Strode fought back. I get it. You're dealing with a skin disease here, not really a physical killer, but more of a disease. But still, I mean, these characters really don't do much. Besides, and Ryder Strong in the original movie, Ryder Strong freaking took a screwdriver, stuck in a dude's ear, shot these other two people, freaking punches the freaking deputy character in the face. He at least did something in the original movie. Here, these characters do nothing. They don't do anything besides freaking scream and run around. They don't do anything. They don't do any fighting. They just don't do anything. So it's just, in my opinion, these characters they did nothing in the movie. So unlikable cast. Their acting was pretty poor, and they didn't do much. And the character Alex pretty much treated the lead character like a freaking piece of crap. So I guess you could say it's his friend, but really enough, he freaking treats him like a freaking piece of crap. So I don't necessarily say they were friends. And people are like, well, he was just joking around, man. He's freaking calling this dude a wussy, just saying all kinds of crap. So even if they were joking around, you don't get the idea they're friends. They don't ever freaking say, hey, what's up, man? It's either, hey, what's up, freaking wussy, or whatever the freak he said in the movie. He's just always treating his friend like crap, so I guess you could say it's his friend, but at the same time, I don't know, because he freaking treats him like crap. And then he's also one of the dumbest characters, which I will get to when I get to the story. But the movie doesn't really have a good atmosphere to it, besides the high school. I mean, the high school is a good atmosphere, but outside of the high school, there's not really any good shots. Nothing to the camera work. Well, I would admit this, though. There is a few good shots in the movie. And it's okay. Actually, I take that back. It's got some decent camera work. I just remembered some of the shots in the movie. But I will say this, though. It is definitely a new atmosphere, so that's why I kind of take that back. It's a new atmosphere. It takes place in a high school. I like the idea. I like the idea of taking place on prom night, because it really was similar to prom night. Actually, they use the same freaking song from the movie Prom Night. If you watch the original Prom Night with Jamie Lee Curtis in it, you hear that song playing when they're dancing on the disco floor. It's also in this film. And the finale is gory and it's great. I would say it has a good finale, lots of gore, good makeup effects, a gross out film, lots of gore. Pretty good idea. I mean, not a good idea, but it's pretty good that it has a lot of gore. So definitely a gross out film. Besides the couple of good ideas, like it taking place in the high school, and maybe the way that it was shot, a little bit of it was shot well. What I mean by that is the freaking ending. Well, not just by the way it was shot, but the freaking ending in general just freaking sucked. But and it was a lazy ending too, because it just freaking didn't really resolve anything. It was just I'll get to the ending, but just I guess it was shot okay, decently shot, some good angles here and there. I didn't care for the direction by Ty West because these characters suck. Like I said, the only good thing about this movie, like the only few good things is, like I said, maybe the camera work. Well, not even that. I mean, maybe the atmosphere. Sometimes the atmosphere of the high school, but then when they exit the high school, it doesn't really have a good atmosphere. But when it does take place in the high school, it is a good atmosphere. I like it taking place in a high school. I like it taking place on prom. I like the finale. Lots of gore in the movie. That's it. I really didn't care for these characters. And Giuseppe Andrews came back in this film to play Deputy Winston again. He really doesn't. I mean, I guess he has a bigger role in this movie. He's more involved in the plot. But I'm like, you kill off Ryder Strong and you bring back Giuseppe Andrews. Giuseppe Andrews lives longer than freaking Ryder Strong. Excuse me. I get it that Ryder Strong wasn't infected with the skin disease, so he wouldn't have lived long. But Still, it's like you bring back Deputy Winston, but yet you kill off Ryder Strong in the freaking beginning of the freaking movie, which it freaking happens. I'll get to it. But you got just Giuseppe Andrews come back in this film playing Deputy Winston again. More annoying in this film. Doesn't really want to deal with the problem. Sort of wants to run away, wussy out. So he doesn't really help out at all. He just sort of is like, oh, it's spreading. I gotta get out of here, man. Gets his friend, gets in a freaking van at the end of the movie to pick up the lead girl. And I'll get to that. I'm going to talk about a few of these before I get to the story. But he was in the movie. He had a bigger role in the film, but he was not really a good character in this film because he finds out about this problem, and then he freaking tells this dude, the dude's freaking dumb. He comes in and he's like drinking beer and stuff like that. This drunk dude. He's like, hey, this water is not good, man. This is how Giuseppe Andrews talks. He's like, this water's not good, man. I need you to stand in here and tell the police about this water. It's not good. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna go out here. Then he exits the building, freaking sets this dude up to get freaking killed. So he's like, this water is bull. Get shot by freaking SWAT team. Good effect. But still, it's like, really, bro? You just set that guy up to get freaking killed? And then it's like, granted, it's a dumb character, because he comes like, oh, he's all drunk and stuff. But still, it's like, he just sets him up to get killed. Then he just doesn't want to deal with the problem. He doesn't face the problem. He just wants to run away, wussy out. Oh, I'm going to run off. I'm going to go freaking go somewhere else and not deal with the problem. It just was like, it made him an unlikable character. And the jokes in the movie, they're not that funny. This one dude sees a fat chick, and he's like, bet me money I can screw her. Because they're in class, and he freaking gets money, and he goes to this fat girl, and actually on the night of the prom, they go in the swimming pool and have sex for a little bit. You find out that she's infected in that scene. Then you've got, because basically what it's about is you've got John going to this high school, and his friend Alex is there as well. Sort of doesn't want to listen to anybody, doesn't care what people think, and treats everybody like crap, the Alex character does. And while he's there, he gets picked on by the character named Mark, gets picked on and bullied by him. And then you got this principal basically saying, oh, if you get in another fight, you're going to get in trouble. And this, at the very beginning of the film, though, you see Ryder Strong. He's in the freaking water. He gets up, and his face is all messed up. I couldn't even tell it was Ryder Strong. I was like, is that Ryder Strong? Is it a different actor? I couldn't tell. And they actually got him back in this film just to get killed in like 5 minutes. So yeah, Ryder Strong came back in this film. The character Paul came back in this film for like 5 minutes. And then just freaking dumb idea as well. There's a freaking bus. Ryder Strong goes out in the street. He stands there for like 2 minutes. Yet this bus is way over here. But he comes towards Ryder Strong. But yet he does not see Ryder Strong. He keeps driving down the freaking road for like 2 minutes. Doesn't see Ryder Strong. Ryder Strong's like standing there. And the bus hits him and he explodes and freaking gore and stuff and guts and good makeup effect, but still, it's like, what the freak, bro? You bring him back just to freaking kill off his character like that at the beginning of the freaking movie? Good makeup effect, but the freaking crappy idea. And I have the idea of this bus driver driving for like literally 2 minutes and not notice Ryder Strong right in front of him. I'm like, that's dumb. You got the Alice character sees his cheerleader with freaking braces and stuff like that. She's crying. He literally sits down and he's like, tell me about what happened. And she's like, oh, my boyfriend, whatever. And then he's like, pretty much compliments her. And then cuts there in the next freaking scene is them in the freaking bathroom. She gives him a blowjob. But yet, he sees a freaking, I don't get why he would do this. If I ever seen a chick with a freaking bump on her freaking lip and he notices it and everything, he just goes, oh, screw it, whatever. And then freaking gets a blowjob in the bathroom. I'm about to say, Even if it wasn't just that, if it was just me gonna kiss a girl, if I see a freaking not herpes, but freaking a bump on her freaking lip, I would not kiss her. I would not touch her. If I ever see a girl like that with a freaking bump on her lip, I'd never kiss her or touch her. Just saying. I'd be like, nah, no, you got a little thing right there. No, 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 thank you. But no, he just freaking goes, oh, whatever, give me a blowjob. And then she freaking gives him a blowjob. He's like, can you go to prom with me? And then she's pretty much like, oh, maybe. And then pretty much leads up to prom. Now you get Deputy Winston to find out about this water spreading, how it's, been put in water bottles and stuff like that. He freaks out. That's when he starts to freaking pack up and leave the area. And they got the high school going into an outbreak, and you have the freaking pretty much finale of the last part of the film, or about midway of the film. The prom is happening, and pretty much the school goes into lockdown, and people on the dance floor are puking up blood. People are, and because the police will see them and freaking shoot them, or I think that happens. The police are throwing gas in the building. There's actually a scene where this girl gets her, or some person gets their freaking fingers cut off by the freaking doorway. And a lot of stuff happens. I mean, this the character Cassie goes in this one room. There's this girl that's pregnant in there, and the baby falls out. It's like, oh my gosh. And then the Mark character goes freaking psycho, freaking is trying to kill the John and Cassie characters. He just goes psycho, freaking bash the dude's freaking brains in. And it was kind of like, oh crap, sort of. I didn't expect it to be like that. But literally, he bashes, like, can you hear somebody go, oh, bash brains out? No, he literally bashes his brains out. He freaking takes a freaking fire extinguisher and hits him in the face. His freaking brains go over him. Like, oh my god, holy crap. So it's definitely a gross out film. And you got this scene where it's really gross. Really freaking gross. I gotta say, this was freaking maybe the grossest scene in the film. Actually, it is the freaking grossest scene in the film. Where the character Alex, of course, he got a blowjob. So what happens? He gets the skin disease on his freaking penis. And he opens up his pants, and his freaking penis is all freaking eaten up by the freaking disease, and it's like got pus coming out of the freaking. It's just freaking gross, man. It was definitely one of those scenes where I almost vomited watching. Like, oh god, I had people like, well, there's worse films out there. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't watch most of those straight up torture, no plot line sort of, just random gore films. I want to watch horror films with an actual plot, which this does have a plot. But I'm just saying, there are people like, well, there's been worse things than that. But yeah, but I don't watch like those freaking extreme, just random gore films. If it has a plot behind it, but still, it's freaking gross. It's freaking gross, and it almost made me freaking vomit. I was like, oh god, what the freak. So, the shock is there. The shock is definitely there in the film. It's definitely got a lot of shocking scenes. Like I said, the guy getting his freaking brains bashed out, or freaking, and then like the girl in a swimming pool, him and that fat chick, that pretty much that freaking dude, that character earlier in the film, he and the freaking fat chick, they're having sex in the freaking swimming pool and starts freaking bleeding. He's like, oh god, are you on your period? And then she's freaking bleeding more and more. Definitely a gross scene. And the dude freaking goes to freaking go get a freaking, I think it's like a freaking, goes to get a freaking net or something like that. And then he slips and falls because I guess the girl came back up and pulled on his leg. He fell and hit his head on the freaking concrete pavement or the concrete floor. And definitely a gross scene. And when you see that fat chick later, she's pretty much all decayed and eaten up by the skin disease. So I will say the finale is great. It's gory, it's twisted, great finale. The rest of the film was freaking sucked because you have freaking humor like freaking the Deputy Winston character goes into this diner. He's like, I've been dreaming about your pancakes all day, because there's a waitress that serves him pancakes. And he's like, I've been dreaming about your pancakes all day. And she goes, nah, no. And it wasn't that funny. I guess it was meant to be funny, but I was like, okay. And then that's when he finds about the skin disease spreading, because there's a freaking dude, like what's it called? Like, they put right here, usually if you smoke, you get it, or not smoke, but if you have, cancer right here, they put this tube in there. This gross scene where this dude freaking has blood squirting out of it. As one dude opens up his freaking shirt and his freaking chest is all freaking decayed. There's blood everywhere. Definitely a bloody scene. And there's also a scene where freaking the character Alex is freaking, I don't remember if it was his toenail or his thumb. I can't remember. But he pulls his freaking nail off, puts freaking super glue on it, and then puts the nail back on there. I was like, it wasn't that funny. And a lot of the jokes I didn't really care for. And the finale of the film is pretty much, I've explained most of it, but the rest of the finale of the film, John pretty much gets pretty much his arm right here has the disease. Really bloody scene as well, where I take a freaking saw, and like an electric saw, and cut his arm off. And, they tie a freaking, I think it was like a freaking tie or something like that. They tie a freaking necktie around his arm to cut off circulation. And a gruesome scene. And then the freaking movie, which is freaking, it's stupid. It's a stupid freaking ending, because what happens is they get out of the high school, they manage to find a way out. Then on their way to the woods, John gets stopped by the military. He's getting arrested, or pretty much arrested. And he's like, go, run! Cassie runs in the woods, and she finds the Deputy Winston character in a van. And then you think that she's going to escape. And then there's a shot of her back with the skin disease on it. But no, it doesn't end there. That's freaking terrible. But it gets even freaking worse. Why? Because you have a scene that's freaking pointless. I don't know why the heck they did. I guess the producers got involved, and that's why it's there. It's a stupid scene. And it really doesn't serve any purpose to the film. Where, it's pretty much at a strip club, and you had that chick. I guess it links back to the chick that freaking had the disease on her lip. But still, it was just, I don't know why it was there. It was sort of random, and it was not shot. It wasn't shot well, wasn't acted well, and it was just so random. It just was freaking. It was just like, why the freak is this in there? It should have been a deleted scene, honestly, where the strip club, this guy pays the chick that had the freaking bump or the freaking disease on her lip. He pays her. She goes to take off her clothes. She has the skin disease all over her. Freaking gross scene. And then I think she pukes on the guy or some. I can't remember if it was pus. I think it was freaking pus or blood or something like that. And then now that guy's infected. And then pretty much the rest of these people get, because I think she squirts blood or pus on these other people. And then they're infected. And then it cuts to cartoon animation of the girl going home and falling asleep, and I guess you get the idea that she's gonna die because she has the disease. Then it shows the freaking truck driver driving these waters all over the freaking, pretty much all over the United States. And then these other people are infected as well. So you get the idea that the disease, that the disease had spread. And that's pretty much the end of the film. I did not like this film. A lot of freaking over-the-top themes in the film. The humor did not work. It was not funny. It has gore. It has shock. It has a great finale. And it had a decent atmosphere to it. The way that it was shot was decent. But, I like the idea of taking place in a high school. I like the idea of it taking place on prom. Besides that, though, I didn't care for any of the music. The freaking end song of the movie, I didn't care for. The score didn't really seem to have it didn't really have a good score. Before the ending, it's pretty boring. Nothing really much happens. The humor is very unfunny, and it got over the top sometimes. And yes, the original film had gore. Cabin Fever had gore. But you know what else it did have? It had good characters, it had good acting, and it had a lot more good things to it. At least it wasn't having these unlikable characters, and the whole movie was good in my opinion, not just the end of the film. But the ending was good, I will say that. Lots of gore, lots of practical effects. But the rest of the movie is too over the top. I didn't care for it, and yeah. So Cabin Fever 2 Spring Fever. I'm not a fan of this sequel, and yeah, I don't like this film. So guys, thanks for watching my review on Cabin Fever 2 Spring Fever, and I will see you guys on the next review. Unfortunately, I gotta review freaking Cabin Fever Patient Zero next, which I don't know if I'm gonna get to tonight or tomorrow, but I really don't want to watch that film. But gosh dang it, gotta watch Cabin Fever Patient Zero. Gosh dang. Wish me luck, guys. Wish me freaking luck in watching that movie all the way through. Because it was freaking boring. I only watched 20 minutes of it last time I seen it. I only watched 20 minutes of it and I got freaking bored. And I heard so many terrible things about that film. So yeah. I'll review Patient Zero tomorrow. Cabin Fever 3 Patient Zero. But yeah, thanks for watching the rants on Cabin Fever 2 Spring Fever. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye, guys.